Selah.
An intentional pause for reflection and connection.
Selah.
Content-rich dialogue and discussions.
Selah.
Pray and worship together.
Selah.
Living the way.
Selah.
Happy New Year! Welcome to Selah. Thank you for joining your group and for being with us today. Selah is a great time to take a break from the normal routine and intentionally make time to relax, think, converse, pray for each other, and grow in community. So we hope you are settled into your spot, you have something delicious to eat, and you're ready to dive into today's discussion. Here are a few questions to get the conversation started today. Number one, what was one word you would use to describe the season you're currently in? Number two, when you hear the phrase open window, what image or feeling comes to mind? And number three, where do you usually feel closest to God? Is it quiet moments, community, worship, crisis, or whatever else comes to mind? Pause the video now and share with your group. When everyone has a chance to respond, unpause the video and come back for our teaching moment.
Hey everybody, and welcome to our Selah teaching. I'm Dr. Wesley Knight, the lead pastor and founding pastor of Revision Church Atlanta. Here at Revision Church, we begin 2026 with a renewed sense of hope and anticipation that this year can be a better year than last year. Now, in today's teaching, I want to share with you one of the ways you can make this year a better year. On the first Saturday of this year, I shared a message in our worship experience entitled, Open the Window. Now, in that message, I encouraged our community to be like Daniel and to pray and praise with an open window mentality. Now, I don't have time to tell you all we heard that day and experienced, but if you missed it, you need to go on Revision Church Atlanta's YouTube page to watch it. I wanted to share so much that day, but we ran out of time, and so I thought it would be great to expand on some of the grounding principles of that message here in Selah. Because I believe these principles I'm going to share with you today are going to help you connect to God in ways that will change your life. So let's dive in. Because Selah is designed to be a safe space for people who are spiritually curious, I don't want to assume that everyone in your group knows who the biblical character Daniel is. So let's start with that. A brief introduction to the historical figure named Daniel. We find the historical story of Daniel in the book of Daniel. That's in the Old Testament of the Bible. In 605 BC, the empire of Babylon conquered Jerusalem and took the people away under their rule. Daniel was a Jew from Jerusalem and was one of the noble men they took hostage and enslaved during that hostile takeover. All of this happens in Daniel chapter 1. But by the time you get to chapter 6, where we're going to hang out today, it's 539 BC, and Babylon has been conquered by the empire of Medo-Persia. There is now a new king named Darius. Now, Daniel was a minority and from an oppressed people, but he was undeniably excellent and received promotions in every government he served. Daniel was made one of the 3 presidents in the kingdom of Media-Persia, and he was so influential and successful that King Darius planned to make him second only to himself. Daniel was that dude. Daniel was the man. Daniel was highly successful in spite of everything he faced. But you know this, that whenever you are experiencing success, growth, and progress, there will always be somebody who is jealous and insecure who wants to stop you. So the record tells us that some of the other presidents and commissioners devised a plan to take Daniel out. Not just to take him out of office, but to literally kill him. His enemies knew that Daniel was faithful to his God in praying 3 times a day. So in verse 7, they went to King Darius and persuaded him to create a law that would essentially make King Darius God for 30 days. Now, this law required everyone to pray to King Darius exclusively. And if anyone was found to break the law by praying to any god except King Darius, they would be thrown into a pit of ferocious lions to be killed. Now, the king signed it and made the ridiculous idea a law. And Daniel was in real trouble. But the easy way out was clear. All he had to do was not pray to God for 30 days. Now, I want you to see what it says in verse 10 of Daniel 6. It says, although Daniel knew the document had been signed, he continued to go to his house, which had windows in its upper room, open toward Jerusalem, and to get down on his knees 3 times a day to pray to his God and praise him just as he had done previously. Wow. Do you see it? Do you see the courage? Do you see the defiance? He not only prayed to God, but he did it in front of an open window. And here is a truth I need you to understand this year. Open window prayer is a practice of faithful dependence on God in direct response to threats or serious challenges. This is not the prayer you pray when you need a regular blessing. This is the prayer you pray when you are facing serious challenges and you have to depend on God. Daniel was facing the threat of death for his faithfulness in prayer to God, and his response was to pray with an open window. In 2026, you are going to face serious challenges that you are not yet aware of. There will be some things that nobody else can help you with. And I want to challenge you to learn to pray open window prayers. So, what is an open window prayer? I'm glad you asked. Here are 4 components I want you to take note of what it means to pray an open window prayer. Number 1, open window prayer is offered in defiance of the impossible challenge you are facing. At some point this year, you will be faced with a challenge that will naturally make you want to feel defeated. Because there are some situations, if we're honest, that naturally cause us to worry or even feel really anxious. And it is natural and it is even human to acknowledge our scared feelings surrounding these ominous challenges. But open window prayer is the act of defying what we feel and praying to our God anyway. It is literally a spiritual act of defiance. In other words, open window prayer is praying when you don't feel like it. And can we all be honest? Even this pastor, I've been there. But yet I want you to understand, and I want to encourage you this year, that when you don't feel like praying and you don't feel like talking to God, do it anyway. That's when you need to pray more than any other time. Feel all your feelings and then pray. Let the tears fall and pray. You win by defying the natural urge to stop praying when you open your heart, open your window, and pray. Number 2, open window prayer is offered without knowing or trying to control the outcome. Now, if you go back and read this story about Daniel, and I hope you will, you'll notice that Daniel never goes to King Darius to change the law or to repeal the punishment. He just prayed without knowing how the situation would end. That's open window prayer. Open window prayer is the kind of prayer that surrenders control over the situation. When you pray like this, you're not telling God what to do, and you're not worrying about how it's going to work out. Now, there are big challenges you're going to face this year, and your initial reaction will be to figure out how you can fix it or change the outcome. But when you pray open window prayers, you acknowledge, don't miss this, you acknowledge that you cannot change the outcome. This kind of prayer is really good for A-type personalities, people who think they can roll up their sleeves and work things out with a good strategy or plan. This kind of prayer is really good for people who have a high view of their intelligence and ability to solve problems, because open window prayers help you confess that you cannot handle the situation in front of you and you need God to intervene without telling God how to do it. And then finally, the third component is that open window prayer is turning to God as a first response and then thanking God before your deliverance. If you look back at the story, notice something interesting. Once Daniel knew that the law was signed, his first response was to go to an open window to pray, which means prayer was his first response. Notice he did not try to find the people who were against him. He did not try to argue with the king. His first response was not appeal nor protest. His first response was to pray. Open window prayer is turning to seek God first. We are often trying to work things out, and then when we are exhausted from trying to do that and trying to figure it out, we finally ask God to deal with it. But in 2026, our first response to those threats, to those ominous challenges, will be prayer. You may be facing a scary diagnosis this year. Open the window and pray. You may be facing financial ruin this year. Open the window and pray. Dealing with unrelenting trauma and pain. Open that window and pray. Or maybe you're trying to navigate hurtful relationships. Open that window and pray. Your young adult children are making bad choices and you can't stop them because they're grown. Open that window and pray. If you are going to win in these desperate times we live in, and yes, these are desperate times, you are going to have to make prayer your first response. That's an open window mentality. Daniel prayed first, and God answered him. When you read the story, it's not in the way he probably hoped, but in a way that made it clear God was with him. And that's what I pray for you this year. So I want to invite you into a powerful new way of living. I want to invite you in 2026 to pray open window prayers. In fact, in just a few weeks, on February 18th, we will begin an exciting spiritual journey together called the Open Window Fast. We will be praying and adding to our prayer fasting for God to deliver his people from the things that look impossible. And over a period of 40 days, we will provide Bible readings, prayer guides, and times of prayer together so we can begin to live like Daniel and see the power of God like we've never seen before. Stay tuned to the end of this Selah experience to get some more information on how you can join the Open Window Fast. I want you to know I'm praying for you this year, that no matter what you face, you will open that spiritual window and believe that God is able. Let's make a commitment this year that no matter what threat or challenge we face, that we're going to pray with open windows and watch in anticipation of what God is going to do in 2026. God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor Knight, for that wonderful teaching. With the times we are living in, we definitely need more open window prayers. What are your takeaways from today's teaching? Your group would love to hear your thoughts. And as you share, we pray that the feedback from the others will only grow and stretch you. That's the beauty of being a part of a community. Here are a few questions to guide your discussion in your group. 1. What point from the teaching stood out to you the most, and why? 2. In the teaching, we were reminded that God responds to bold, faith-filled prayers. Where have you seen open windows in your own life? Moments where God invited you to trust Him beyond your comfort. What did you do with that invitation? 3. Bold faith often requires risk. What feels risky about praying with expectation or acting on what God is prompting you to do right now? Is it fear or disappointment, rejection, looking foolish, or something else? 4. Think of a time you felt tempted to pray discreetly, perhaps to not offend or make others feel uncomfortable. Are there situations where that is appropriate? 5. Holy audacity is praying as if God is who He says He is. What would change about your prayers if you truly believed God was eager, not hesitant, to respond? How might your prayers sound different? If you have your Selah journals or your phone, take a few moments to journal your answers first. Then after a bit of quiet reflection, share with your group. So pause the video now, and we'll see you back here in a while when you're all done. We hope that as you discuss the teaching today, you were able to discover something new. Now we challenge you to take another step forward with these challenges. 1. What is one threat or challenge you are facing that you want to take to God with an open window prayer? Can you share it with the group? If not, please put it in your phone or in your Selah journal. Ask your Selah group or a member of your group to pray with you about it. 2. Sign up for our open window fast by using the QR code. We begin on February 18th. Pause the video and take some time to discuss and pray over the challenge. If you're needing more guidance or support, talk to your Selah host about more specific ideas for next steps. Selah is supported by your generous contributions. Right now, there's a QR code on the screen. When you grab your phone and open the link with your camera app, it will take you to a few ways you can give tithe and offering. We are so thankful for your consistent giving that is making a difference all over the world and right where you are. As a reminder, your giving helps make Selah possible. Thank you for being a part of Selah today. Your presence, your comments, and even your questions all make Selah special. We look forward to seeing you right here again in February. See you then.